Hey everybody, this is Doa, and you're watching another StarCraft 2 commentary from Doa. Dejmien saying, "Ho, why you play Zerg?" And the reason he's saying that is because he got matched up on the ladder against MorroW, and he's a little bit surprised that MorroW isn't playing Terran, and I can't blame him. MorroW, of course, the very famous Swedish Terran player, winner of the Intel Extreme Masters Global Gaming Challenge Cologne in Germany in August, I believe it was. So the interesting thing here is we have a very popular Terran player who's been very successful at his race, deciding to change races. MorroW says he's changing for fun, wants to do something a little bit different for a while, and I did get this replay from a replay pack that MorroW released on teamliquid.net. He's got a thread there called From Larva to Ultralisk, I believe it is, where he's sort of chronicling his life as a Zerg player now. Still playing Terran in tournaments for the moment, I believe. I think he said he wanted to get to 2,000 points with Zerg before he starts playing Zerg in tournaments, so an ambitious goal from MorroW. We're going to sort of do a checkup a little bit to see how he's doing as Zerg and see how they do on Lost Temple. So looks like both players spawning in close positions, that is. And so that we're probably going to see some sort of early aggression from the Terran player. So far opening pretty standard, but there's not a whole lot that goes on in these first parts of the game. Looks like MorroW isn't planning on doing any sort of super early hatchery. Droning up a little bit more, and yeah, looks like Dejmien is going to find MorroW right away, and this actually does give MorroW plenty of information too, because as you notice, MorroW did scout down here with his Overlord first, didn't find Dejmien, and then this SCV shows up fairly early and steals minerals. Dejmien, why are you stealing minerals from the other player? That's not nice. But anyway, this does give MorroW some information that Dejmien is most likely in close positions, so now MorroW will be able to prepare appropriately for that. Looks like this SCV starting to get the uncontrollable shakes, but I can't blame him. I'd be pretty nervous too, being so close to a Zerg base. So a little bit of a nervous SCV there. And yeah, going to prevent MorroW from expanding as long as he can. Looks like he is even going to go as far as building a bunker there, which is another sort of delaying tactic that you can use to prevent Zerg from putting up that second hatchery. And the nice thing about that is when you don't need the bunker anymore, you can always salvage it and get your minerals back. So Dejmien really wanting MorroW to stick with one base as long as he possibly can. And it looks like MorroW probably is going to be getting Zergling speed early. Looks like he's saving up the gas for that. First queen on the way for MorroW. Meanwhile, if we go back to Damien's base, looks like he's not completing the wall off with the supply depot like you would see most Terran players do, but it looks like he is going to build something there, a factory. So it looks like he's going for some sort of higher tech build, possibly a 1-1-1, but we'll have to see what happens a little bit later on. There's also the option of the dual Hellion fast expand build as well, which is where you swap these two, put a reactor on the barracks, and then swap the factory onto it and build some Hellions while expanding. Looks like MorroW is going to be taking down this bunker. Looks like Dejmien salvaging it just in time, cutting it kind of closer, but doing a good job of getting his money back. And it looks like MorroW is going to start pushing out across the map to get some scouting information from his opponent. He knows right where Dejmien is, so he's going to be able to run right over. That SCV has really become the hero, bringing those minerals all the way back to Damien's base. And Dejmien with nice marine placement on the edge there, able to sort of prevent MorroW from getting in right away. But it looks like MorroW is going to come around the outside, poke up the ramp just to see what's going on. And MorroW is going to be able to see what Damien's build is. He sees a reactor on the barracks as well as the factory right next to it, and that basically screams Hellions incoming. So MorroW can get prepared for those Hellions. And it looks like he did just put down a spine crawler for that. Probably going to move it down to the natural once it finishes. That natural about halfway down now. Zergling speed almost finished for MorroW. So it looks like MorroW is going to be in fairly good shape to receive those Hellions when they do arrive. Looks like Dejmien in the meantime is putting down that second command center. And the first two Hellions are coming out for Dejmien. 2 gas now, so we'll have to see what he's planning on using that for, because Hellions of course don't use a whole lot of gas. So he's planning on some sort of higher tech build, saving up some gas right now. And yeah, oh, there's an armory. So it looks like Dejmien going for a Terran mech against Zerg. Always very popular. Interestingly enough, as you saw in that recent TLO versus Nada game, where TLO goes Hellion Thor against Terran, it looks like that's a strategy that's becoming a little bit more versatile than people originally thought. Normally it was reserved just for TVZ, but looks like that may be expanding in the near future here. Looks like Dejmien is moving out across the map with those first 4 Hellions, going to try to do some damage, get in and kill some drones for TLO. Make a quick stop by the Zelnaga tower. And I called him TLO, but I meant MorroW. MorroW looks like he is prepared for that nice unit placement actually for MorroW. Yeah, if you look at that, that's very subtle actually. MorroW able to defend his natural and his main with the queen here, spine crawler here, and if you look over here, we've got some speedlings parked up at the top of the ramp, so even if Dejmien did try a run by with those Hellions, MorroW was prepared to stop that. So very subtle, very good unit placement early on with MorroW. He was well prepared for those Hellions, so nice job there. Looks like Dejmien is just going to camp out at the Xel'Naga Tower for now with those Hellions as he waits for the rest of his build to come into play here. Looks like Dejmien transferring minerals down to his expansion. A couple more Hellions going across to join the others. First Thor is coming out for Dejmien now, so going into full swing with that production. Looks like we do have a Spire coming out for MorroW, so MorroW probably going into a Mutiling. Getting those Speedlings early on and transitioning into Mutalisks is a very popular Zerg strategy, of course, right now. Although with Dejmien going Thor is kind of almost probably blind countering it. Let me see here just to make sure. Looks like Dejmien getting some shots in on that Overlord. Some Speedlings coming in to try to take out that Marine. And they do, but Hellions coming in to try to take out those Zerglings. But MorroW is able to pull those Zerglings back. So a little bit of action there. But let's go back to what I was looking at earlier. Yeah, so looks like Dejmien has no idea that that Spire is being built right now. So Dejmien just kind of blind countering that Mutalisk build from MorroW. Also getting vehicle weapons level 1 already, so good job there, keeping up with the upgrades. Easy to forget while you're microing and kind of going about your build order. And MorroW looks like he is doing a good job of spreading creep across this eastern part of the map, as it would be much too dangerous to expand to the gold here. Obviously he's going to be looking at taking this natural for his third base. Hellions moving out for just a moment, but then pulling back. Looks like MorroW is a little bit light on army overall. Looks like he is slightly behind Dejmien at this point in time. Actually, I take it back. Dejmien is actually slightly behind MorroW. I got those colors mixed up there. Looks like MorroW is starting to produce those first Mutalisks now. So we're going to have to see if they can cause any sort of damage, getting air weapon upgrade level 1. And it looks like Dejmien a little bit supply block there, but he does already have 3 Thors out right now. So really, depending on if he leaves those Thors in the natural or not, or in the main that is, MorroW may be stopped cold. Looks like he is kind of swinging down around the bottom of the map, possibly thinking of coming in right around here to try to pick off some SCVs. But I think Dejmien's